Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Local Pundit. I'm Josh Anthony. This is your Breakfast Club Saturday session with a very special guest from Mansfield Matters Podcast, Craig and Ken Dubb, who just waking up. I don't know if there's whiskey in his coffee, but here we go. And Hip Karma is going to be joining us in a couple minutes here. How are you doing, my friend? We're on the eve of a battle tomorrow.
Yeah, good to have you. Thanks so much.
First.
Oh, thank you. Thanks so much for having us on. Yeah, really appreciate you inviting us again. Probably not as good as what you guys are doing at the moment, but still enjoying life in League One and looking forward to tomorrow. So I think for the first time in a few weeks, there's very little expectation on Mansfield Town's head tomorrow, and that's exactly what we need. So looking forward to going to sleep and waking up tomorrow on match day, a Sunday match day, which is very strange for me. And hopefully we might put an end to the little slump that we're in. But what will be, will be.
Well, what would be, will be. We brought in Hip Karma, who was also here too. That was my fault. Doing late, I screwed up. She is our Zen guide. Actually, she's our. She'll come right at you. I trust you. She'll come right at you, asking about your team. Trust me, she's tough. She's tough.
I know. I'm so tough. I actually lived in Peterborough for a while, on Park Road, in fact. And took my dog to Neen Park.
Nice.
So I have a respect for Peterborough. My heart is with Wrexham.
There you go. Well, Peterborough, we're going to kill Mansfield. We have tomorrow. So welcome. Ken, you want to fire us up with our first going out? I want to learn a little bit more about what they're doing. But Ken, I'm sure you had something lined up there.
Well, I mean, look, yeah, welcome to the show. And obviously Mansfield came up with us from League Two last season, one of the other promoted teams. And, what were your expectations at the beginning of the season, I guess?
Quite simple. Finish outside the bottom four. And that's all that Mansfield can ask for. I make no bones about it. We're not Wrexham. We're not Birmingham. We're not throwing money at it. We've spent money on one player this entire season. We've got no expectation whatsoever to go and achieve promotion again. It wouldn't help us at all. In fact, it would hinder us going forward. We're all about stability in the long game here. We're not here to, create headlines. We're not here to make good television. We're here to stumble across and continue the true footballing journey, which is about progressing as a club over the long term. So we're well on course to achieve our goal this season, which is to stabilise and stay in League One and become an established League One club. And what will be, will be. At the moment, we're in terrible form and not enjoying ourselves one little bit at the moment when it comes to the football. But I think deep down in our hearts, we know that we've got a manager and a squad that once they find the little bit of confidence, which they've been missing in the last couple of weeks, are more than capable of turning things around. And you never know, against a team which we've got such a rich history with. Of course, we didn't just come up with you last season. All those years ago, those long-term Wrexham fans will know that we went down with you as well. So we've been down in the doldrums with you. We've been in League Two with you as well. And now we're in League One. It'll be a ding-dong battle. And I think after the last few fixtures that we've had against each other over recent years, Mansfield are certainly due 3 points. So looking forward to it.
Well, Hip Karma, I think, obviously, thanks for coming out. I see the puppies are with you, too, as well. Do you have any thought process asking what we can expect tomorrow from the Mansfield team? Or I know you analyze things in a more heady way than Ken would. Although Ken has led us to the match, but anything for Craig?
Ken always has the lettuce of the match.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
he always has the lettuce of the match. Look, I want to say that I respect Mansfield a lot, and from my perspective, I think your goals were really actually similar to my goals at the beginning of this season, before the season started. There was a whole lot of, mini dogs. There was a lot of talk about, going up and up and up again. For me, though, and these gentlemen can verify and so can the chat, my focus was I would be really pleased if we ended up like somewhere in the middle and maybe heading towards playoffs. I wasn't super ambitious. It has been so long since either of our teams have been up here that it almost feels a little bit like rare air, and I'm grateful for that. Now, would I like us to go ahead? Yes. That doesn't mean that I'm not really conscious of where we've managed to be, and I'm really pleased to see a team such as yours be up here as well? And I'm sorry, I haven't followed all of Mansfield's journey this season. Has it been better than you expected so far, or has it been more challenging than you expected?
I think it's been exactly what I expected, to be fair, and that is we're going to find tough challenges along the way. But we've also enjoyed the highs as well. At the start of the season, we gathered a lot of momentum from which we brought with us from the end of last season, which you're always going to do. Whoever we were going to play on that opening day of the season, we were always going to win because we were just so up for it. And then we just sort of took that in game by game. And Nigel Clough, our manager, does that superbly well. He just galvanises a team. He gets us going. He gets under your skin a little bit as well and gets in your blood. And he really got the players firing, and we were fortunate that we had pretty much 90% of our players available. We've probably got 90% of our players unavailable at the minute, which explains where we are. But we got a good grounding, and Nigel Clough throughout it all. At one point we were in the playoffs. We weren't too far off perhaps the automatic spots. We were always sort of lingering around there, and there were a few murmurings that Mansfield could go on and try and push for promotion. But Nigel Clough, all throughout it all, had a little bit of a wry smile on his face and said, we're going to need these points that we're collecting at this stage of the season later on in the campaign, because we're going to hit bad form. And he wasn't wrong. Unfortunately for us, we've just hit bad form, probably at the wrong time, and probably in too much of a condensed style as well. If you look at our form over the course of the season, our points, we are exactly where we would have expected ourselves to be, perhaps even a little bit higher than where we anticipated. But we're where we are at the moment, and we're feeling like we are at the moment because we keep losing games in a constant, continuous manner, and that's not good for any team at the moment, which is sort of why we're a little bit fearful of dropping a little bit down. Burton's result today doesn't do us any favours whatsoever, puts us 5 points above the drop zone with them to play next Saturday. But I think to answer your question, in terms of expectation this season, no, we are exactly where we want it to be. We hit a little bit of bad form before Christmas, but we were still playing well and perhaps unlucky in those games. But over the last 4 or 5 games, we've not played well at all. We've not performed well, which has been a little bit of concern. But we can back that up by saying that we've got, at least 6 key players who would be regular starters, propping up the physio's tent at the training ground and keeping him the busiest man in football at the moment. So as soon as we get a few of those players back, you'll notice a suitable upturn, which is why I'm not too fearful. I think it's just more about confidence.
So is Flint's out? Just out of curiosity, is Flint out?
Aidan Flint's not out. No, Aidan Flint's available. It's the main defender for us this season is Desh Yoshalaja, or Dave, as we call him on the podcast, because it's easier. Aidan Flint's a seasoned pro. Unfortunately for us this season, and for him, he has not quite hit the level we wanted him to. He's an experienced pro now. He's not quite matched the pace of the division, and he's cost us some goals at times. But to be fair to Flinty, he's come out in the press and said, no, I've not been good enough. I need to improve. I need to get better. And I'm more than frustrated at my own performances than what you lot are as a collective at my performances. So it's refreshing to have that. The main injury for us is Lee Gregory, who obviously we signed on a free from Sheffield Wednesday in the summer. We were rumoured with him in January as well, but we were patient in terms of waiting for him to get him on a free to reduce the cost, because we're not splashing money left, right and centre because we don't have it. And he's been a godsend for us, really. Scored a lot of important goals in that first period of the season, but unfortunately picked up an injury, kept him out over sort of November. Came back over Christmas a little bit, and again, results improved. And then went down injured a few weeks ago, and now he's out for the remainder of the season, along with Reece Oates, another one out for the season as well. So, strike force-wise, we're struggling at the moment.
Mm-hmm. There's one teed up, and I'll pass to Ken after this. Lewis Brunt returning to the one call tomorrow, and Patty says if you finish 16th to 20th, Koff is safe to stay next season. If you want to take those 2 on, and then I'll pass it to Ken after your chat right there. And by the way, just so you know, we have a troll in the chat. It's John Merrill, our regular, who's a Birmingham City supporter. It's the total troll. Just want to point that out to you. I mean,
fair enough.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Lewis Brunt, first and foremost. I've got no problem with Lewis Brunt because he did exactly what every young footballer should do. Football is such a small career when you're a player. we're talking about looking at some of the Mansfield squad. I've got a little bit of a stat here. If I go to my notebook, that
touching buttons.
The back three, which we finished the game with last week, were 33, 35, 34, and 35 in terms of ages. In football, as a career, that's old. That is old. That's retirement age. You're pushing past retirement age. But realistically, that's not old in life at all, is it? So when you think that football's such a small amount of time as a player,
Ken's 32.
You go and chase the money. You go and get yourself a decent career and go and give yourself the best opportunity of progressing up the league. So got no qualms with that whatsoever. But would Lewis Brun, reflecting now, some 6 months or so down the line, would he regret his decision a little bit? Well, his bank account won't regret the decision, but him in terms of progression as a footballer, he'll regret that decision because he's barely played from what I understand. And I know he's carried a few knocks and niggles and he's, I don't know. It just doesn't seem to be, I don't know, it might not have been the right choice for him. I've not really watched him because I'll be honest, I couldn't care less. He's not a Mansfield player anymore, so I don't care.
You just teed up Ken. He's going to come after you right now.
No. Spoken like a true fan. I totally get that. And look, Brunt actually did, Craig, early in the season, make a comment to the press about the fact that he was frustrated. He wasn't getting playing time. And we'd been calling for him to start, like here on this channel especially. And he has now. And he's a regular starter. And he's shown his quality as one of our best defenders. So he's definitely there. I think for him, he's obviously hope, like most players that get recruited to Wrexham, they get sold the dream of, the welcome to Wrexham and the club and the owners and going through the leagues and getting promoted. So, and whether we can do that this season or not is yet to be determined. We shall wait and see. I hope we do, obviously. But, look, I had huge respect for Nigel Clough. I think he's an awesome manager and I think he's done a great job. Like, obviously, like you mentioned in your comments, how he, said we needed those points at the start of the season. I mean, just looking, I've got a couple of tables up here, but I noticed like you've lost 5 of your last 6 and a draw. So you've only had a draw in your last 6, and I haven't looked back further than that. But do you think you've got the opportunity to turn it around in this back end of the season? And you won't need a lot of wins. You'll probably only need 4 more wins probably in the rest of the season to be safe, in my opinion, looking at how many teams are below you.
Yeah, I think he's got everything there ready to turn things around. As soon as we get Dave back at centre-back, it'll be a different story. He's an absolute colossus for us back there. We're just missing players for injury. I mean, the back three, which started on Tuesday night against Lincoln, all went off injured, and they've got no chance for Tuesday night. So for tomorrow, sorry. So it is what it is. We're missing players through injury. Once we get them back, we'll be all right. And like you say, 3 or 4 wins will be okay. The big one for me is next Saturday at Burton Albion, of course, Nigel Clough's former club. There's a lot of love for him there and a lot of love for quite a few of our players because for a while we were Burton's B team or Burton 2.0, whatever way you want to look at it. So there's a little bit of rivalry there. They're just down the road from us as well. So there's that to consider as well. And being a relegation rival, they won today, didn't they? So they've gone within 5 points of us. So if we lose on Sunday, which I hope we don't, I think we've got enough about us to maybe surprise a few people, but then go and lose at Burton, that would put them, 2 points behind us with, albeit we'd have 2 games in hand on them, or 1 game in hand actually, come that point. It'd make it a little bit tighter, a little bit more nervy than we want it to be. But in Nigel Clough, we trust this season. What happens beyond that is a different question. I guess we're going to get the answers in the next week or so as to where we go in the future. I'm glad that Lewis Brunt is starting for you as well. I want to just add a nice little word for him on that as well. He was a key member of our side last year alongside Aidan Flint. Nigel Clough obviously turned him into a good little defender, and he was well sought after. I know we went after him in the summer as well and would have welcomed him back. But he's part of our promotion winning side. So as far as Mansfield fans are concerned, as long as he doesn't score and then celebrate against us, which is where things go a little bit awry, he'll be forever remembered as part of Mansfield Town's historic promotion winning side. And, we wish him all the very best. And I'm sure his agent's a very lucky man. Or wealthy man. Sorry, wealthy man.
Group Response says 18 matches for us so far, and also bless you, Hip Karma. And pass to you and see if you have anything teed up for tomorrow to Craig as well. Nope. There's dogs. I think there's dogs.
There's dogs. I'm sorry, and I had mute on. Thank you, Steve. And I'd just like to point out, Steve accused me of dolling up for the show. I actually have my camera on. This is the difference. Normally I'm on and there is no camera and no one gets to see the dogs and the chaos. And I thought, we're having a guest. I shall put the camera on. I actually had warning that this would happen. So thank you, Steve. I'll take what you consider dolling up. Look, Lewis is someone that we really have liked. And I was also one of those voices calling for Lewis to come on. I am really grateful for what he's done. And talking about being B teams, I will say that you may have noticed that Burton Albion's been a bit busy of late with some acquisitions. So I will wish you luck against them. I will.
Ooh.
I wish us luck against them. Are you kidding?
Yeah. They're the Wrexham B team right there. But you guys, I mean, you guys if you lose tomorrow, are you in a relegation battle?
We're already in a relegation battle. No doubting about it. We've got 1 point in our last 8 games.
No,
we're already in it. I mean, some fans might try and deny it, but we're already in it. You don't play as badly as we have and lose as many games as we have in succession and not count yourself as in a relegation battle. I think we're one of the stronger candidates to come out of it very quickly. But at the moment, in the current situation, in the current run of fixtures, in the current time period, we are in a relegation battle. Mm-hmm. I feel, you look at the games, some of the games that we've got left. Once we get some of those players back, as I say, I think we'll pull ourselves away from it. But there's a couple of other factors which go into it. And that is, alluded to it earlier, and that is Nigel Clough, who, made no, he didn't hide the fact that at the end of last season, his contract was up and he was also, looking to retire, and his wife was as well. He's been there and done it. And he's really had a really good career, and he was ready to walk away at the end of last season if he didn't get us promoted, which of course he did. Promotion triggered a 1-year extension clause, and I don't know, we've all had the sense perhaps over the last 6 to 8 weeks that things aren't quite going right for Nigel Clough in terms of how he's enjoying it and how he sees his future. On Tuesday evening, we've got a fans forum with him, and he doesn't hold back in terms of his comments. He's very much like your manager. He's old school. He's very honest with what he says, which is, I find, refreshing actually in today's game. But one thing he will say for sure, I'd put money on it, is whether or not he will stay next season. And if he says that I've had enough and that I'm going to leave at the end of the season, well, we might as well shake hands with him now and get somebody else in and let them have a look at players. And I think that's a big thing hanging over us at the minute in terms of confidence within the dressing room, because 90% of their contracts are up at the end of the season anyway. So it feels very much like the end of a story. And it's just about what ending we can write for ourselves. Nobody else is telling us what we do. Nobody else is saying whether or not we're going to go down or not. It's all about us. We're confident enough to stay up. And if we're being completely honest, we've got a game in hand. We've got Burton still to play. We've got players to come back into it. And we've got a manager who's experienced enough and players who are knowledgeable enough to ignore comments like actually saying a while ago, we fancy Mansfield to go down and actually stay in the league and progress in the future. Thank you. Good night.
Birmingham City supported Webby's a part of our thing right here. And I'll let Ken take this on. Listen, if you put Ken's name in the comment, he's going to love it. He said, you don't have to say a thing. Gorgeous face. But yes, but yeah, I'll give that. Ken, you want to follow all that up? I don't know how you do our report.
Yeah. I mean, John did mention it. I mean, from 14th down, which is Rotherham on 38 points, tied with Mansfield at the moment. They're all in that relegation battle, to be fair. So that's a lot of teams. And, even though, you say you're in the relegation battle, and you are, but I mean, there's a lot of teams there, and all those teams have to win and get above you. So, do you think, you touched on there Nigel Clough. I mean, my question there is, so Nigel Clough if he finishes up managing, you think he goes into retirement now? He doesn't go to another team?
Oh yeah, he'll retire. It's Mansfield or retire.
Yeah.
He's been there and done it. He doesn't need the money from football management. We all know his family history, etc., and he doesn't want to move house either. He's at a certain age where he doesn't want to move. You look at the clubs that he's managed in his career: Burton Albion, Derby County, Sheffield United, Burton Albion, Mansfield Town, all in a certain area. He's not had to move once. He's not had to commute to work. It's the dream for him, absolute dream for him. He won't fancy managing anywhere else, I don't think, especially in terms of today's footballing game where owners are a little bit more ruthless than perhaps what they once were. I don't think he'll have it as good as what he's had at Mansfield either, and I don't quite think he's got the passion for it as much anymore either. And I think you know everyone knows in life, if your wife says to you it's time to put your feet up and retire, then you know it's time to put your feet up and retire. There's only so many presents you can buy her to fob her off. It ain't going to work for too long. So I do think he'll walk away and retire. If that's at the end of this season, then he walks away an absolute legend and everything. If it's the end of next season, he wants to have another go at assembling a squad, then fine. There'll be a little bit more scrutiny on him for sure. But again, whenever he goes, whatever he does, he'll walk away as a Mansfield Town legend. And, we're talking about some of the teams to play there as well. I'm just having a quick look at the table now. You mentioned Rotherham, still got them to play. Wigan, still got them to play. Exeter, still got them to play. Burton, still got them to play as well. So there's a lot of teams in and around us who we've still got to play. And like I say, once we get one or two players' bodies back fit and we've had a bit of a rest, it'll be a completely different story. Mansfield Town struggle when they've got to play 2 games in a week. When we have to play Saturday, Tuesday, or Sunday, Tuesday, or whatever it may be, for me, they struggle because we just don't have the legs for it. But once we get the game out of the way tomorrow afternoon, we get a little bit of a rest. We get to stop. And I think what Nigel Clough will say to the players after tomorrow is, look, lads, regardless of the results, I don't want to see you now until Thursday, Friday morning. Go away with your families. Go and get yourself on a plane for a couple of days. Go and relax because we've got another long, hard end run of the season to come now. So go and refresh yourselves. And what he's very good at is doing exactly that. So, any other manager will be crumbling under the pressure. I think Nigel Clough, cool as you like. And I think we will we'll get there. We might surprise a few people tomorrow. You never know. It'd be typical Mansfield to do it. You expect 3 points in every game, but you're looking at the form table and you're expecting 3 points and probably a fair amount of goals tomorrow. It would be typical Mansfield to turn up and turn you over given the form we've been in. It would be typical Mansfield to do it. So file that under things you'd like to see.
Pip Karma, if that's what Nigel Clough is telling his team, what do you think Parkinson's telling our team tonight? And how do we go out and take that on?
I think Park is going to continue to move forward in the way that he has. I think, as you said, he and Nigel Clough are old school. They are not going to suddenly change an approach that has been effective. They know their team. They know their squad. He will be managing them in exactly the same way that he has before as it comes into testing times. And that's probably one of the things that the team relies most on him for that guidance, for that sane head during times where, as Josh talks about, you get too high, you get too low. No. Experience that and then go back and focus on what it is that you need to do. My question is, though, what are the timelines for your return for your key players? Are they coming back in time for you to create the difference that you're looking to make?
Oh, I wish I knew. Sorry, I was laughing there because I saw John's comment pop up about Flint back post header. I don't think he's ever scored a header for Mansfield in the 2 years that he's been with us yet. So it would be glorious if his luscious long hair did pop up at the back stick and pop one in. But I think there's more chance of a goalkeeper scoring. But that has happened against Wrexham, though, hasn't it? So it could happen again. Anyway, what was your question? Oh, injury timelines. Do you know what? With Nigel Clough, he plays it very close to his chest. He could say, "Oh, we'll expect someone to be, 4 or 5 weeks away," and then we'll look at the team sheet tomorrow, and they'll all be in. So who knows with Nigel Clough? I think the honest answer will probably be for at least 3 of the 3 defenders Hewitt, Williams, and Blake Tracy, who all went off on Tuesday night, if they're in the starting lineup on tomorrow afternoon, then our physio is a miracle worker because they'll all be out. Lee Gregory won't be anywhere near it. I don't think Fraser Blake Tracy will either. He popped his knee. I think the one who's got a chance will be Des Yoshalaja or Dave, purely because he can probably come back a little bit quicker. But I would probably say, injury-wise, we'll get players back, if not next weekend for Burton, then the weekend after when we go to Exeter and I think Stevenage as well. So, 2 weeks I think we'll be looking a little bit more healthy. The break of not playing Tuesday night is going to help. Mm-hmm. So can't wait. I can't actually wait for full time tomorrow just so we've got a break. We need it.
Speaking of breaks, so we have 4 minutes left to go. I was at a hard out for you because I understand what you're up against. I'll keep that offline. But so I want to ask, what do you expect tomorrow? And how do you expect it going? What do you expect from Wrexham? And then I'll give Ken and Hip Karma the last quick ones out there too. We have 4 minutes to do it because I said I know you have a hard out. So what do you expect for tomorrow's game? And then I'll give the last two to Ken and Hip Karma.
There's zero expectations on Mansfield's shoulders tomorrow. Like I said earlier, because of who you are and what you expect to achieve in a quick amount of time, and the narrative which surrounds your football club, which I get, and I think it's a brilliant thing what you've actually done for the game, what they've done, but that does bring a massive weight of expectation to go into every single game and win. You would look at Mansfield's form going into it, and you would think we are going to absolutely turn these over. And I think from a Mansfield perspective, given the way we've played and performed, there's definitely a thought process of it's going to be a really, really tough game for Mansfield Town tomorrow afternoon at One Call Stadium. But also, I know Mansfield Town and I know Nigel Clough. And when the chips are down and everything is against us, when there's no expectation other than heavy defeat on our shoulders, that is when we turn up and that is when we perform. So there'll be an atmosphere. We'll create a good atmosphere. So I will absolutely bite every single one of your hands off for a draw, for a point. But in here somewhere, and in here in my heart, there's a little tiny voice which is saying Mansfield are going to win 2-1.
There we go. There's the prediction. Unfortunately, we never score a whole heap of goals. We don't win matches like by big scores. And the one thing that I do know is that every single game we've played against Mansfield has been a ding-dong battle. So I'm expecting a tough game. Well, tonight, my time, tomorrow for most people. But I think it's going to be very, very close. I obviously hope for a Wrexham win. I do think Mansfield's going to stay up. And I am really looking forward to a battle tonight. I've got no more questions for you. Over to Ed Karma.
You.
Great. I have no questions. I simply want to say that I hope your team stays up. And apart from 2 hours, in 2 hours in the very near future that you can guess, I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And all the best to you for the rest of the season, except for the one who we don't. Is he even playing anymore? Is Ollie Palmer, is he, or is he just pushing his clothing brand now? Is he a footballer or a clothing management guy now? What's he doing? Is that not a hole we can go down? No, I've got to go now anyway. So
he's a publicity guy now. He's not getting a start.
That's all he's good for. All right, thanks so much for having us on, guys, and enjoy if you are travelling to Mansfield tomorrow, any of you that are watching, have a safe trip, but I hope you go home empty-handed.
Please plug your show. Tell us about Mansfield.
You don't need to know about us. I literally can't because I need my phone is ringing, so I have got to go.
You got to miss it. We got you out of time. All right. Thanks, Craig, for coming in from Mansfield Matters. Awesome. Absolute legend right there. Thank you, buddy. He said, I got to be out by 1 o'clock my time because I need to go pick up he's got to do something for his home. That was so great to have him, man, and great insight right there. Hopefully everyone enjoyed it. Awesome. I was going to ask about our new guys, but we went out there. But he is class. What do we take from that, my friends?
Well, two things is that they've obviously had a very injury-riddled season, which is tough. And two, when management speaks, he listens. Does as he's told.
I don't think he wants to leave, though. Nigel.
That's a smart man.
Yep.
No,
Nigel.
Nigel. Yeah.
I think they could probably convince him to stay if they did well enough.
Well, for me, the narrative there for me is like for the owners is, you know, if he's talking about retirement, and I think they're going to stay up, right? So if they stay up,
they're going to stay up for sure.
Is it right for Nigel Clough to be the manager to start rebuilding that squad, or, in my opinion, it's probably better for a new manager to put his stamp on a team and look at the players that he wants for the style of football that he wants to play, because otherwise the manager that they have to get in has to be a Nigel Clough style manager, which I'm not saying they won't do, but, you know, as far as managers go, they'd want to be putting their own stamp on the team.
Mm-hmm.
I see where you're coming from. My question to that, and it's a really basic and practical question, is for me that would depend on how much money management is prepared to, or the owner is prepared to spend, how much they have available, how much they're prepared to spend, A, on the manager, and then B, the split from the manager to the players. So within that context, they may have to get a Nigel Clough clone if Nigel leaves. Otherwise, it's a massive investment in relative terms for them to get a new manager and then a team that does what they has the capacity to perform in the way and style that new manager wants.
Mm-hmm.
I have a hot beverage. I just didn't get to consume it. This is Cheryl with no breakfast and no hot beverage.
Matt says the lineup is fire. By the way, Ken's having breakfast. He doesn't care.
I did manage my omelette and coffee.
Whisk in there.
I had dogs.
Yeah, you got the dogs. How much shoot through? I mean, the Aussie thing is just getting infectious here. By the way, Matt said the pundit lineup is fire. Matt, I've asked you on like 90 times, and here you text me, "What's up?" Never comes on, ever. Never comes on. Always an open invitation. Always.
I mean, the advantage for Hip Karma and I is we just have to be that little bit better than Aaron and Paddy,
and like this much better than.
I'm gonna cop it for that one.
Yeah,
you are gonna cop it for that one.
By the way, they have keys. So there you go. On that note, on the Aussie tip, if you haven't watched the Two Beards podcast, I got called out on the Two Beards podcast about not having Adrian on, and Adrian's coming on in 2 weeks on a Friday without Rousey. So coming on, we're gonna hang out.
My goodness.
Live show. Yep, live show.
Patty's listening, Ken. I can see that.
Of course he's listening. Right. Of course he is.
Well, all I'm going to say is it was another terrible week for footy tips. Paddy's outdone us so far, again, by a point. So you're not doing too bad, Paddy.
He's not doing too bad. And Matt, get out of bed, do your thing, get out of the bath. Come on, be an adult. Let's do this. I mean, look at Ken's having coffee.
Actually, I'm going to defend Matt there. That is a classic Josh move to just hop on the phone and then go, ring, 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 ring. And then you go, I wonder what time it is for them.
So you guys are so unsupportive. Hip Karma, we talk all the time. It's great. Matt is saving his Nugget podcast for gold in his own show. Got to respect that. Laugh out loud. Yeah, he's doing his own thing. There you go. Go support Racecourse Ramble. There you go. Doing his thing. There you go. Gotta love those Two Beards guys. Yeah, one beard's coming on. I'll tell you. And Techie says he wants to come in, but he's got to bring in his bow tie. Techie, you almost got us sent off last time. I hear you. Yeah. But anyways, on that note, tomorrow, what are we expecting? Macca's going to probably be out. WWE Lee's not going to be there. So it is a preview for tomorrow. And we did have some decent results today. So what do we feel? Birmingham City are in the mud, elected champions, as they call it. But Wickham Drew, is it a must win for us tomorrow? And what do you see the lineup to be there?
Oh, Ken is suddenly silent. Oh my God. Okay.
Well, because no one gave him like self gratification of how sexy he is in the chat. So Ken won't say shit. He's just like, oh, please tell me how great I am. So no one said, Ken, awesome. Tell us about your lettuce. There you go. So go on.
Okay, let me see. I think I'm looking forward to Longman being in. I'm curious about whether AO is going to be in or not.
We don't know if Macca's out yet. So do you think Macca's in or out?
If the intel that our wonderful Mad Al shared is reliable, I'm thinking it may be wise to rest him unless, as someone else suggested in Discord, we want him to yellow so we know he's out for the next couple of games, and so that can be planned. And that might be a reason to have Macca in and say this is the strategy. What are our games coming up after this one in terms of?
I'll do the research while you guys talk. Go ahead.
We have Peterborough in the Virtue Cup in a couple of days.
Ken is totally just being a total obstinate, not calling the JBD Cup. I don't like it at all. He has to get fired. Ken's totally fired.
And then we have Bolton at home on the weekend.
And then Huddersfield away.
Yeah.
Well, the question becomes when is it that Macca is going to be out? Because we know at some point he's been behaving like an absolute gentleman for Macca. When is he going to get that yellow that we're all kind of waiting to have happen? It's like waiting for the ball to drop. If you're American, I think for New Year's, isn't it? Or waiting for the other shoe to drop for the rest of the world. That's my question. And I think for me, that's going to impact how the team is put together. What are you doing, Josh?
I'm reading this stuff right here. The Smith and Mullen to start, not James and Dobson. There's a lot. The chat is chatting. The chat is chatting. And I'm like, oh damn. I was biting my tongue and I was like, oh damn.
Speak forth, Josh, and share what the chat has to say, because we missed Dan Moore talking about the about 90% of Mansfield Town being out of contract at the end of the year. So let's catch up on this one.
No, there you go. There's two there. Oh, Ken fired. Who you getting out of there? But no, I was talking about this right here. This is what I saw. Smith and Brunt to start tomorrow, and not James and Dobson together. And he went full cap lock on that. He went full cap lock, says Walsh Techie. And yeah, what do you?
I can almost hear Welsh Techie banging on his desk as he finishes typing that. No, we shall not.
Thou shalt not pass.
Well, I mean, look, if Macca starts, he starts. If Macca doesn't start, I don't think it's a lock that Longman's on that left side.
I agree with you.
Who do you have? Rev?
Well, you've got Revan, who might start. He's had a couple of goes in the Virtue Cup. Jimmy Bag of Donuts. There you go, Josh. And as crazy as it may sound, Mendy is still an option there, even though he hasn't quite got the start yet. He's been on the bench the whole time. So, well, not the whole time, but a lot of the time. So he's that one floating around and for the possibility of that position too. And obviously it depends on the type of style that Parky wants to play in this match. So it's this squad lineup for tomorrow's game is not a lock. Do we need to win this game? I mean, look, last week the sky was falling. You know, we got to fight for staying and promote in the playoffs. All of a sudden, we win this next game tomorrow. Next week, Wickham play Birmingham and we play Bolton. We beat Mansfield and Bolton, and Wickham lose to Birmingham. We're tied on points.
Ken, did you do that math in your head?
Yep, the math is my strong point.
That's why middleman speaks.
And what is our goal difference looking like?
They'll have a slightly better goal difference, but it'll only be a couple. But then remember, after that, we play Wickham.
Ken, their goal difference is 27. We're at 19. We're kind of in the mud with that.
No, well, you think about that, Josh. That's six goals, right? Oh, sorry, 8 goals. 8 goals. My fault. 8 goals. We win by 2 goals tonight. It's 6 goals. Birmingham lose by 2 next week. We win by 2 next week. It's a 2-goal difference.
I like it. I like where the head is at. So the chat is chatting, by the way. Brian Chang says Harry Ashfield for attacking.
Yes, Brian.
Yeah.
I would be a massive fan of that.
Ken just got a massive semi for that. Yeah. Sorry, Hip Karma. What's that?
Bring that on. Okay. When we go up at the end of the season, Unfortunately, we're going to have to loan Ashfield out to get him that experience. But I'd love to see him get 2 or 3 games in the back end of this season just to help him with that growth. And he has more than shown he's capable in every game he's played for us so far this season, admittedly, in the Jimmy Bag of Donuts cop, Josh.
Yeah. Sorry, Hip Karma, I cut you off there too. And I love that shout, by the way. What were you saying, Hip Karma?
I agree. I like Harry Ashfield. I have a lot of time for him. I would like to see Harry Ashfield on. I would like a universe or a reality where Mendy gets some time at some point as well. We've kept him on for a reason. I would love to know. I would love to see him be able to do something rather than still be just on the roster. So it's going to be an interesting time.
Well, in the brief time that we've seen of him, Hip Karma, on the field, I think he's gained a yard of pace too. So I really do want to see him on the field.
Yeah.
I agree that he has. I think the thing that he needs is more match time so that he's confident about where he's going to be turning for the rest of the team. That was the one thing that I noted. He seemed fast. He seemed on the ball. He wasn't as confident about where he played the ball once he had it. I mean, who he was going to put it, and that's just playing time.
Yeah.
From my perspective as a newbie, that was the impression I got. He just needs to know where people are going to be. In the same way, actually, it's really similar to our new strikers. They just need to start learning and being confident about where the rest of the team's going to be, where to place the balls.
And I agree with that, all that too. Everyone's trying to learn together and try to figure things out. Aaron says Reb was on the bench the other night, and Parkey chose to put Longman in for Maka, not for Reb. That speaks volumes. Good shout right there. Now I want to take this one on right here for the both of you. Where the F is it? Well, it doesn't matter. Somebody said it. Who's going to be in goal tomorrow?
Flip a coin.
I asked that question. I have no clue. No clue.
Flip a coin for me. Don't know.
I agree with you. I have no clue what his thought process is. The reason why I think that is because is there something else going on? I have no clue what the hell's going through his head. I agree, 100%.
I don't think AO's been 100%. That's why.
No, I agree. Particularly given when he went into that post.
Yeah.
His chin, his jaw. Yeah. I mean, we don't know. That's it. And you can't blame him given what happened to him the previous season and the fact that he had to wear a mask and he's become confident and then this happens. So we don't know what's going on. Thank you, Mary. Yes. Like and subscribe.
Road to 2000. Road to 2000, Ken, for your new hair.
Yep, there you go. It's coming. But and the other thing is, Howard has been really good in these last few games. He's attacked the ball. He's taken control of the back. He's been really good. So it's that's what's made it. Like if Howard had been a little bit like he was a season ago, where he's a bit nervous and he'd let in a couple of goals, probably a different story. But Howard's been absolutely on point.
I had said, and you guys can take this on, and it's probably way off base. I think our best all-around keeper might have been Callum Burton. I think AO's our future, but I think Callum Burton all around for me was our best keeper.
Look, I agree. Given Neil Walker asking what about our third goalie, he's gone on the grass again. Just in the last week, there were photos, weren't there, of him?
Callum.
Of Callum being on the grass. So he's back on the grass. We don't know how far away he is, though, Neil. So
I think he's at 3 or 4 weeks at least minimum. Let's at least. Yeah, Parkinson. I think you talked about it in the pregame there, but I love AO. I do, and I think that Chomp's done a fantastic job. I mean, coming out of basically get off the bench and do your job, awesome. You cannot fight that. I get it, but yeah, tomorrow. I don't know. You think AO? I think it's going to be Chomp. I don't know. Did you guys say? I think you said.
Yeah, it's flip of the coin. And as for Callum Burton, he is just a list of another player whose injuries have caused speed bumps any season. because he looked really good when he played, and then he got injured.
Yeah, and Matt says 4 weeks away. Yeah, that's what he said. 4 weeks away. Yeah, it's unfortunate. We have had a bug. We really have had an injury bug. I mean, we really have. You know.
I think Callum Burton's going to be really good for us next season, wherever we are. I think he's going to be good for us to have next season, fully fit, having had a rest, having had pre-season with us, as opposed to dropping in, fairly early. So I'm hopeful for him, and I'm optimistic for him for next season. Rather than this, I don't expect too much from him at all for the rest of this season.
Mary says J-Rod's going to score tomorrow. He's been knock on heaven's door. Do we have? I know we're getting close to the hour here. I know everyone's going to. Ken needs to get up early, and so do I. I think I'm going to join him tomorrow on the game day build-up, which is awesome. Do we have a starting 11 for tomorrow? I might not. I might get kicked off of it. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Do we have a starting 11 for tomorrow?
Do we want to try and do a starting 11?
I mean,
I'm happy to give it a crack.
All right, give it a crack.
Go on.
Okay.
Go for
Mark
it.
Howard at the back.
So is this a you? Is this a you, or is this a Parkinson?
Parky prediction.
Let's do a Parky prediction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unchanged 11.
yeah, exactly. Just bring up the screen.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Howard at the back. Brunt, O'Connell, Cleworth.
Yes.
Barnett, Longman, Dobson, Rathbone, and Matty James and Rodriguez.
It's an unchanged 11. Other than Macca, he's injured.
That's a Parky squad.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I respectfully disagree. I would actually I would like to see, and I think there's a possibility of seeing George Evans in there. I would like to see that, and I think that's actually a genuine possibility. I do agree that Rev is a real possibility. So is Longman. So he has choices now, and I think that's a good thing. Goofy Splat. Look at yours. Dobson Cannon. Cannon's a good choice. Cannon's a possibility. Smith and Fletcher. I doubt he would put. Oh, well, he might.
Remember Wednesday we have the JBD Cup. So I mean, I don't know what can happen tomorrow. He might.
No.
Well, I can give you. I can change it and give you what I would pick.
Go on, Ken.
Oh, I'm
okay. Howard at the back. Brunt, O'Connell.
Still Howard.
Yes, still Howard. Yep, still Howard. Brunt, O'Connell, Cleworth. Then I still pick Barney, but then I put Revan in. Then in the centre, I pick Gorgeous George in the middle, Rathbone on one side, Cannon on the other, and Sam and Jay up front.
So you're making one change.
Hey?
You're making
I've made two changes.
Two changes.
I picked Rev and I picked George. No, three. And I've got two new midfielders, George and Cannon.
Yeah.
And I've got Revan instead of Macca.
Yeah.
So I've got three changes.
Is your Macca drop injury or performance?
My drop is because of injury, but if I had my way, I would put Revan. Not Revan. I would put Mendy in very soon, but not for this match. I expect Mansfield to be a tough match, even though they're in a terrible run of form. And I wouldn't pick Mendy against Bolton either. But bringing us up against another weaker team is when I want Mendy to get a start on the left.
Oh, wow. What do you think, Kip Karma?
I do think Mansfield will come and give it their best shot. I think they will be a scrappy team. My question will be how much importance Parky places on the Jimmy Bagger Donuts trophy and getting to Wembley there. And I think that is going to heavily impact the decisions that he makes about who he's playing tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Just reading Glenda's comment.
Yeah, what do you think? Yeah, I didn't know that.
Nice.
Ooh, I like that too. That's a good shout. And who do you keep on ice for Wednesday? I mean, and then we have Saturday. I mean, it's busy.
This is a tough 8 days.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I think this is Parkinson's toughest time for him as a manager, in my opinion.
Peterborough beat Huddersfield away last night.
What was that score? I'll bring it up right now.
1-0.
My favorite scoreline. Wow.
Which is they've turned around a bad run of form.
Yeah. Loss, win, loss, draw, win, -10, 34 points, 2 up Burton, who did win last night. I mean, the bottom is so dicey. It is literally like waking up the next morning and you have a headache. Oh, my God.
Squeaky bum time down there for a lot of teams. From a long way out.
And the anointed champions, by the way, sorry, Hip Karma, the anointed champions that they want to be, Hip Birmingham City did draw. They are in still good form, and Wickham did draw as well. So if we win tomorrow, we'll be at 61, 64. The door's open there. We do have a 6-pointer coming up with them. Oh, my God. What? I said to yesterday, someone go in. I want you to write the script. I want you to write the script. We are at the page 75 page. We're at 75 of the script. That's where we are
There were
right
some
now.
good ones in there.
Yeah.
There are some good ones in there.
Did I miss it?
I did see something in your Discord.
I've got an alternate script.
You do? Okay. Yeah. We're at page 75 right now. All is lost right now. It's not all is lost yet, but we're at the second act. We're at the second quarter act break right now. We're at page 65, 70 right now. So what's going to happen? Quarter act reversal. The bad guys closing in. All that stuff that's happening right now. Someone going to write that script right now. The bad guys are closing in.
Birmingham, with 16 games to go, goes on a drawing streak and draws the next 16 games to get 16 points for the rest of the season.
Yeah,
finishing on 86 points, with Wickham and Wrexham, unfortunately, finishing just above them. Birmingham going into the playoffs, end up having to play Huddersfield in the first round and beating them, coming up against Leyton Orient at Wembley for promotion and losing a pen shootout 4-3.
Oh my God, Ken, that was your script? That's your script. What do you got?
That's my script. John Merrill, write that one up. Enjoy it. Have fun for the rest of the season.
What do you have, Hip Karma?
I'm staying out of it. I don't write scripts. That's not what I'm good at. I will leave it to the ones who are good at it. But I will say, with Ken's script, I feel for you, Webby and John.
Hold on.
I would love to have the commentary in the chats for those 16 matches.
I'm telling you, if
draws
Birmingham draw the next 2 games, I am just going to double down on that so hard.
Hold on. There you go. Ready? I'm gonna do this, right?
Go for it.
There you go. Here's a feature structure template, right? Log line, right? Prologue, teaser, act 1, opening, theme stated, inciting incident, refusing the call. Act break 2, B story intro, fun and games. It's about 30. The second act quarter, right there, midpoint. The stakes. This is where we're at right here. This is exactly where we're at right here. Stakes rising, and the bad guys are closing in. There you go. That is where we're at right now. That is where we're not at the quarter act break. Not at all is lost. Dark Night of the Soul. We're not there. We're right here. Stakes are rising, and/or the bad guys are closing in. That's where we're at right here. Boom. Write the script.
You didn't write a script for us, Josh.
Well, no, he just gave us the template.
I'm not writing the script. I'm here to navigate.
You guys are all just chickens.
Send me the template, and I will write one for the next time we catch up. How's that?
I will write the
third act.
Here we go.
Everybody in the chat, after you've liked, subscribed, and shared, We'll grab the template out of the Discord, and you've all got to write your script.
You got to write the script. There it is.
Yep.
Right.
Throw the template in the Discord.
I will
Start a thread for us and let us write the third act. Or from the
sorry, and I
crazy.
forgot to say, we win the flag.
Okay. I love it. So good. I will put that in the Discord right now. I will put that in the Discord for Prestige or thing. Yeah. So write the script. Let's see how it goes. Maybe we'll get it to Rob and we'll make it into a short film. How's that to the end of the season?
Nick Donlan, you have absolutely nailed that.
Preach, Nick.
Yeah, preach it. How about this, Nick? I'll send you one of my latest scripts. How's that? I'll send you the Casamigos script. How's that? There you go. Anyways, this has been great. I appreciate y'all coming in. Ken, am I joining? Do you want to go, or Hip Karma?
Josh is going to be our expert commentator in the game day build-up.
I don't know if I am, though. I don't know if I am.
Oh, God.
No.
And what time is that for us? What time is that
That's
for
like we are right on midnight. Well, midnight Queensland. If it's daylight saving, 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 a.m. All right, 1 a.m. on a Monday morning for Australians. Awesome sauce. I work.
But don't worry, Josh has got to get out of bed sometimes at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Let's know.
Oh, poor thing. Heart breaks.
Well, next week sucks too. We got to be up at stupid o'clock for my time, and I'll be down in the desert, so it'll be a whole totally different world for me. All right,
Yeah,
so
we'll both cry.
World's smallest violin here for you, Josh. World's smallest violin.
Well, do you think that Ken can hold a 50-minute show by himself build up? That's the other partial there. I don't know.
The thing is, Josh, I don't need to, because if I made a call out to my Aussie friends, they'd jump straight in and help me out.
Who's coming in? Are you calling Two Beards?
No, I wouldn't get 2 beards. I want people way more attractive than that. I'd get Hip Karma.
Hip Karma, you coming in for this? You got to do it?
I may be convinced, whether for part or all.
Hip Karma, Hip Karma, Hip Karma.
Let's see. I would have to go to bed before dark in order to be fit. But let me see how I go. I will give it a go.
Okay. All right.
Let's see what the votes are.
Hey, what Matt?
And Matt Boswell.
Matt, there you go.
Matt, where you at, Matt?
See? You put the call out, Josh. Aussies are there.
Okay. Matt Boswell, DM Hip Karma and Ken and myself, and you could be in. And Welsh Techie says, you just talk about golf for 50 minutes. You know what I mean? There you go.
No, Welsh Techie. Golf is a good game. Golf is a good walk ruined. I love you too, but golf is a good walk ruined.
I will be.
By the way, until we're on Paramount Plus, people have lives, and this is a hobby. Brandon has a wrestling tournament tomorrow, so he's doing dad duty. Awesome. There you go. And which is great. And Patty is has a party for his kids. So there you go. And Ken is just drinking white wine and just hanging out at midnight drinking steak or eating steak.
Oh yeah. I'm only a month away from heading off to Margaret River for another week again.
Yeah.
Which is a great wine region.
Don't.
So
is the jazz festival on?
No, not when I'm there, but I cannot wait to go again.
It is lovely.
So is tomorrow's game day build up? So here's what we changed on it. Ken, can you confirm this? It's going to be 5 minutes after the drop of the starting 11, so we can get that sorted.
5 minutes past the hour. Yep.
5 minutes past the hour. Okay, great. So Matt Boswell, you want to make it? It's a debut for you tomorrow, Matt, I believe. So do that.
Not?
Yeah, why not? Hip Karma, up to you. Do that. I'd love to have you in to sort Ken out because he gets a little, high and low. But let's do it. It's Rex, Bruce. Oh shit! That's what the wrench goes in. I don't know. Yes, at this time, yes. So what do we need to do for that to adjust that?
There'll be a major amount of reporting on Wrexham coming up tomorrow.
Bruce, that means you can come in and you can keep us updated on that for sure. How's that? Great debut by him the other day. Okay. And Matt says, message me a link. No, Matt, message Ken. Message Ken because he's that's his show. That's his show.
Matt, if you're in the Discord, just send the link in the just message in the Discord.
Yep, we'll do that. Yep, awesome. Okay, Hip Karma, Ken.
Hello.
This is great. How did we do tonight? We do okay? 7 out of 10.
Well,
made it out alive. No one
I'd say 9 out of 10 because of the guest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty good. Who else gives that? And then who else gives you that? No one does. Yeah. All right. Hip Karma, you're getting us out of here.
I will.
Whoa.
Thank you, everyone. And on that bombshell.